Hello dear students. Today we are going to discuss how to choose optional, and in particular we will discuss about how to prepare PSIR optional. So dear friends, before getting into the nitty-gritty of how to choose optional and in particular PSIR optional, I want to discuss with you people the concept or idea of competition. And this is very important thing. If you understand from this entire discussion, if you are able to understand this particular idea of competition, this preparation journey will be very easy for you people. And if we are not having clarity of this idea, so the entire preparation, whether it is GS, optional or whatever it is, going to be very difficult for you people. I have seen people failing this exam for years. 5 years, 6 years, they couldn't able to clear prelims, because they are not having this clear idea of competition. And the moment we finish this thing, you will feel that whether it is choosing optional, preparing GS, making notes, or whether going for coaching or not, every single thing will become very clear to you. So what is this idea of competition? So whenever we prepare any exam or anything in our life, whether it is studies or any kind of sports competition, anything. Whenever the idea of competition comes, we think that we are competing with others. And when we have this idea that we are competing with others, things become a little complex. How it happens? Because when we are preparing, thinking about others, what others are doing, how they are performing, how many hours they are studying, what kind of books they are referring, we make our entire journey very complex. And this is what you need to understand. And after understanding this thing, we will link this entire idea with our preparation, specifically optional preparation. So understand this thing. In any competition, we are not competing with others. Understand this thing. This is our own capabilities. We are putting efforts to, enhance our own capacities. That is good, that we keep certain standard. For example, I want to have All India rank 1. This can be your standard or maybe your goal. But how many marks I have to have for this, you keep that standard in your mind. Then you push your limits. You compete with yourself that I stand here and I have to achieve this. So I am putting efforts to achieve this goal. So your competition is not per se with others. It is you are competing with yourself. You are enhancing your own capacities, your own abilities, your own skills, your own knowledge foundation. And if you understand these things, things become very easy. Because I have seen people, students in the libraries or in coaching centers, they just try to see what others are doing. And if someone becomes toppers, when they tell about their strategies, they try to follow their strategies. And this whole things distort your own idea of preparation. So my dear friends, understand this thing. You have to understand your own strengths and weaknesses and prepare your own strategy as per that. For example, if you are choosing optional and I say that, okay, law optional is very scoring, you should choose this thing. But again, you might not be having any interest into studying law. Maybe you are not having that kind of aptitude to study law. Or maybe I say anthropology, it's very good subject, very small syllabus, you should choose this thing. People are getting good scores and they are getting successful, being successful as well. But again, you might not be having that kind of orientation, or maybe, for example, if I say, I don't enjoy any kind of scientific subject, I won't choose this. So again, you see your own strength and weaknesses and then make your strategy accordingly. So this is what we are doing here. When we are talking about preparing for our optional and choosing our optional, we see that what is my capabilities, what is my abilities, what are my skills, and how I am going to utilize these things to choose this subject and prepare. Because dear friends, it may take 1 year, 2 year, 3 year to become successful. You have to spend the time with that particular subject. So if you are not having that kind of orientation, aptitude, skills to be with that subject, you are not doing justice to your time and your abilities. So this is something. Understand this thing, that your competition is with yourself. It is you who is going to excel this exam. So don't compare what others are doing, what is the crowd is doing. Understand this thing. So first thing is this. Now, in choosing optionals, we explore several things. First thing I discussed, that you must have interest in that subject. That subject should appeal to you, that yes, I enjoy if I am going to study about this particular subject, I am going to enjoy this thing. I will take example of PSIR here. That when I read news related to what is happening in our international sphere, or maybe at domestic politics, I enjoy that. It is appealing to me. And when I link with theoretical aspect, it gives me more clarity that why these developments are taking place in domestic or international sphere. It develops certain kind of critical ability to make proper sense of things. This is my way of looking at this optional. Even if it is not going to give me good marks or less marks, I am not concerned. The concern is that I am going to enjoy this subject. This is the first thing. It can be scoring. And the first thing is this, every single subject is scoring. If you have to be, in top of the list when it comes to the optional. As per scaling system, if you are having very good marks in your optional, then only you would be able to get good marks as per scaling. So every single subject is scoring. It is not like this. Provided you are having that kind of interest, willingness, and all those things required to score good marks in that optional. So if you have a very good command over Mathili, you can, get good marks in that subject. So this thing, I don't subscribe to this idea that whether any subject is scoring or not. It's all about how you are, approaching the subject. Again, there are certain things which helps you to make that subject scoring. For example, whether there is some kind of guidance available or not, in terms of coaching, in terms of mentoring, whether there is material in the market related to that subject, whether there is test series, evaluation. So these things bring this particular point into picture. If these things are missing, definitely there will be some issues for you. But again, if you have burning desire, if you have interest, you will find out those things. But now if we talk about PSIR, there is no depth of all these things. There is so wonderful coachings available in the market, guidance is there, test series are there are so many things. So this thing related to optional linked with PSIR. then as we discussed, material, test series, all these things, if they are available, automatically it is going to enhance the score. So your interest matters a lot. Now when we comes to approaching the optional, there are certain things you need to keep in your mind. Now we will take PSIR optional as an example. So in PSIR, paper 1, paper 2. Apart from exploring these two dimensions, we will also explore the material to refer, test series, or what we say, answer writing, related guidance, notes making, revision, fine. Or if anything comes during the discussion, we will include that. So my dear friends, first chapter is related to political theory, first paper, political theory. And here, first chapter is IR theory. So to score very good marks in your PSIR optional, keep this thing in your mind. If you are not good at theory of portion, you are not going to score good marks. So if you are getting lured to this optional, seeing that, okay, there is overlap, there is GS syllabus overlap in GS paper 2. In GS paper 4, there will be overlap related to these political thinkers and all those chapter justice, equality. You can use those things in GS paper 2, GS paper 4, as well as essay. There is no doubt about this thing. We will come to this point as well. But if you are focusing that just because this is having overlap with this particular area and you are choosing this, this can be a mistaken view. Why? Because in PSIR optional, if you are not having command over the theory and if you are writing your answers like in a GS paper manner, you are not going to score good marks. The first and foremost thing is conceptual clarity about these theories. Write down in your mind, your diary, your notebook, that if you are not having conceptual clarity in theory section of PSIR, this journey is going to be very difficult for you people. So if you are willing to understand the theory, if you are willing to put your efforts to understand theory part, then this subject is very scoring, very entertaining, very interesting, and it's going to give you, very good marks to qualify your exams with very good rank. So now I will just discuss about how we are going to approach this thing, because part 2 of paper 1 and paper 2 can be streamlined with the GS preparation. Just when you are writing the answer, the writing answers of PSIR optional and GS will be totally different, because here you have to give some kind of theoretical touch to your answer. These answers are more analytical, and their approach of writing will be mostly 90% or 95% will be in paragraph format. Here in GS paper 2, you can use both and you can write important points, but the connotation of PSIR and the theoretical aspect should be avoided while writing GS answer. This we will teach you when you write answers, that how to manage your content in PSIR optional and in GS part. So for theory part, as I was discussing you, that the idea of competition, You should not follow anyone. You should see what is your own strengths and weaknesses. If you are very weak in theory part, you must refer certain basic and fundamental sources. There are certain NCERTs related to political science you can read. There are IGNOU material related to political theory you can read before getting into any kind of notes and standards books. Remember this thing. If you start reading notes and not having the clear picture of those concepts, this is going to be very confusing for you. It may kill your interest as well. You are very enthusiastic, you are studying. But if you are not going to, keep that momentum going on of the interest, this is going to defeat the entire purpose of preparation. Maintaining that momentum, maintaining that, the joy of learning is very necessary for an optional. So understand this thing. Your foundational strength makes your journey enjoyable. So before getting into standard books or notes, you first go through some basic books like NCERTs, which is related to political theory, and some IGNOU material. IGNOU material related to BA as well as MA. Fine? So you first have command over political theory or IR theory. Your theory part should be very strong. And if you are addressing the second parts of both the papers, I am telling you there are so much of material in the market. Just you need to practice your answers. Just you need to integrate several theoretical aspects as well as some views of thinkers, and your answer will be fine. But this part you need to have strong command and just to do this foundational and basic works. Because there are certain students, they have been preparing since their graduation. They are doing their BA, having political science as major subject, political science honors, or having political science as a subject in their graduation. And they are preparing, they are even taking coachings as well. And once they qualify, they say that, see, I did in first attempts, I read this, I read that. But this background story of 3 to 4 years is not clearly visible to you. You get influenced by those things that, okay, we'll follow the standard books or some notes, we will do this thing. Again, this is the idea of competition. You should see that how much I am capable, what is my strength, what is my weaknesses. You should work on this thing. You should not compare yourself with other persons, how they are doing, what they are reading. No, that is totally secondary. First you understand that what I am supposed to do, where I stand, and you work upon yourself. So any coaching, any guidance, whatever you go, wherever you go, the first thing should be there that I must have very good command over the concepts. If the coaching, if that guidance, if that notes is not giving that foundational strength to me, I reject that. You should have this kind of, I am just, enthusiastic about learning concepts. What is the theory? But again, here comes the role of guidance. The proper guidance. The person who is mentoring you, who is guiding you, must tell you that, beta, stop here. Beyond this, if you are going, you are becoming researcher. And you don't have to become that. You have to qualify the exam. There are certain demand, there are certain prerequisite for this exam. You're supposed to have that much knowledge that is sufficient. Beyond that, it's not going to help you. If you get into so much of depth in standard books, that's not going to help you. You don't have that much time. So once you have conceptual clarity, with the help of standard books. You read, refer some notes, you make your notes, and in the notes making, I am telling you, you should have your bullet notes, what we call in our language, short notes. This is most important thing. There will be short notes of so many toppers in public domain. You can get that. But that's not going to help you. When you make your notes by your own hands, you know what is important to you, which portion you can recall and you cannot recall, for which portion you need more revision, more focus, so you make your notes accordingly. So this is very important thing. You should not copy others' notes. You should devise your own strategy. Again, idea of real competition. You are competing with yourself. You are enhancing your own capabilities, your own skills, your own abilities. And then you feel confident that, yes, I have done my part. I am going to appear in the exams. Whatever it takes, I am going to do that. So understand this thing. That things, that content which is giving you the confidence, and when you are writing the test, and it is being evaluated, or you do the self-evaluation, you can feel this thing. It happens sometime. When you are writing mains for the first time, you start feeling that लोग कहते हैं कि feeling नहीं आ रही. I'm not feeling as if I'm writing something. You start feeling that कुछ मजा नहीं आ रहा when I'm writing the answer. So this is what we call the confidence. You know that I'm not doing right. You know that my answer is haphazard. There is no proper, meaningful arrangement of the ideas. I am putting things here and there. So once you understand how to write answers, how to self-evaluate, because you have that kind of clarity, you have that kind of knowledge, you can put into the words, things become easy for you. There is nothing such thing called complex when you have conceptual clarity. When you know that where I am standing. So if in any guidance, in any mentoring, any coaching, if you are getting this foundational knowledge, this foundational strength, and that kind of interaction where you can resolve your doubts, when you can, get that kind of discussion which enhance your critical thinking, your reasoning abilities, that is good. You should go for that. But again, do not have weak foundation. And when you are choosing PSIR optional, your theory part should be very, very, very good. Those two parts you can integrate with GS preparation, and that's going to helpful for you. So when you have good command over this theoretical part, I am telling you this is surely going to help you in your essay and ethics part. Essay is nothing. It's about your own views. And when you are developing this kind of orientation, when you are going through the theoretical part of political science, because every single thing we do in this life is touched upon by politics. Every single aspect. Politics is having in the family, politics in the class, politics in the institution, everywhere it is. And when you are linked with this particular aspect, that is theory, you develop that kind of orientation to see things in new perspective, in new light. So, I am again and again forcing on this aspect. You should have very good conceptual command, conceptual clarity related to political theory. And that is the only thing. You can use this into the essay part, you can use this in ethics part. And we will teach you, we will help you how to use that particular content in the essay, in GS part, or in ethics. Because this is very tricky. When you are writing your optional answer, that requires a different kind of approach. And when you are writing GS answer, that requires different kind of approach. So this kind of techniques, this kind of tricks, or this kind of skills will be taught to you in the course. So there are several things to discuss, and I am delighted to tell you that we are at Lukmaan IAS, we are also starting our foundational batch. It is cyclic. We have started one batch earlier. Now you can go through our websites. You can find out the dates and you can join our courses. Here you'll get personalized attention. Your doubts will be cleared in the class. There will be healthy discussion. Notes will be provided to you. There will be daily answer writings. There will be some weekly test. Every single thing and the proper guidance. There won't be any kind of one fit for all approach. Things will be personalized. How you are feeling, where you are lacking, those things will be identified. Those things will be resolved and you will get that kind of clarity. That is my assurance to you people. So I welcome you to be part of our program. If you have any kind of doubts, you are welcome to the Lukmaan IAS. You can come, you can discuss with me, you can have personal guidance with me. Okay, dear friends, thank you so much.